and welcome to the Altenew Fall Blessings video hop. I'll be sharing how to create an abstract background for your card using the brand new mixed media palette knife set. These are a set of stainless steel palette knives, 4 all in total, in sizes 2, 4, 6, and 8, with wooden handles as well. They're very good quality and really fun to use. Because they come in different shapes, I thought it would be kind of neat to make a background out of them. So I'm coating the bottom of the knife with a mixture of embossing paste and spray ink, also from Altenew. And I'm just using the smaller palette knife to smooth out the paste. And then I press it down onto a white A2 card front. I just press it randomly, kind of creating it, filling in the spaces as I go, changing knives to just get different shapes as well. So you can see that I just keep pressing that on, moving around the cardstock, and you're just going to keep doing that until you've filled the cardstock up to your liking. So just smooth the paste on again there, you can see, and if you do a nice thin layer, it dries fairly quickly. And I have quite a bit of paste on my palette there, and so off camera, I actually, after I finished this card front, I used it with a couple of stencils on some other pieces of cardstock, which I'll turn into cards a little later on. You actually don't need to mix too much embossing paste up, but actually a little bit goes a long way. So I just keep pressing on there till that's pretty much filled in as much as I like it. Just do another last press there, and then we can set that aside to dry and move on to our no blending coloring technique. So for this technique, you would like to use a large image. That works best with it. And I've stamped the largest floral from the Floral Art stamp set in permanent black crisp ink, and the permanent black crisp ink is alcohol marker friendly, so it's not going to smudge or run when you color it with the alcohol markers. So to do this, you want to pick a light, medium, and dark color family of markers. You don't want them to blend, so these are similar shades, but they're actually from different color families, these markers that I chose. So we're going to color the entire image in with the lightest marker, which I've already done. And then we're going to take the medium color, and you're going to just freehand kind of the edge shape of the petals, and then you're going to color that in towards the center of the flower. So you can see here, I'm just going to work around each petal and color that in, and I'm going to continue that until the entire floral image is colored with that second layer. So what we're doing is we're just creating kind of a little bit of interest, adding some color, and we don't have to worry about blending it or shading because we want this flower to be bold. We're putting a nice bold flower on our bold abstract background. So I'm just going to put some music on and let you just kind of watch as I color in the rest of this floral. So now the second layer is colored in, and now I'm going to move on to my final layer, which is the darkest marker, and I'm just going to do exactly what I've done on the second layer. Again, just kind of freehanding the edge of the leaf, or of the petal, pardon me, and just coloring that in all the way to the center. So you can see our light, medium, and dark shade. Now when you're coloring like this, because we don't want our inks to blend, you just want to make sure that it's completely dry before you start on your next color. Because I'm going from petal to petal, by the time I get all the way around, then my ink is dry and ready for the next layer. But we're on the last layer here, and again, I'm just going to put some music on so you can just watch how I finish off all this coloring. So now we've got that flower colored, and I'm going to die cut it out with the coordinating die. So I'm just going to hold that in place with a little bit of low tack tape and run it through my die cut machine. And earlier when I stamped the images, I stamped some of the leaves as well from the Floral Art stamp set in the same permanent black crisp ink. So I'm going to die cut those as well. So I've got the pieces die cut, and now I'm just going to kind of fiddle around a little bit, I guess you could call it, but just move things around until I kind of like the placement, I like the angle, and once I've got that decided, I'm going to go ahead and add Instant Dimension foam tape to the back of all the die cut pieces. And then I'll adhere that to my card front. So I've got all the pieces on here. This is great tape. You can even just tear it. You can see me tearing it into small pieces there. It cuts really easily, and the backing paper peels off very easily. Some of the foam dimension tapes out there can be tricky to get that adhesive backing off, but this one is super, super easy to do. So now I'm just going to go ahead and attach all my pieces to our card front. That's nice and dry now. And you can see I'm thinking about tucking in that last leaf cluster there, but I decided not to use it. And now I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And I am using it's a smaller set with just the label type look to it. So I'm coating that in black ink there. This time I believe I use the jet black now. And I'm just going to trim this out with my scissors. Usually I use a straight edge for everything, but this is a small enough sentiment that I think I actually did a pretty good job of cutting it straight. So I'm going to now add that to just the center of my flower. It kind of draws the eye inwards to that bloom and just gives a nice design element as far as having kind of 3 areas of black on that. So now we're going to adhere that to a A2 card base just with the Altenew glue tape. Just going to attach that there, and I finish it off with a few sequins from my stash. So I'll bring those in here, and I like to lay them out on my project before adding any glue, just to kind of arrange it in the way that I am happy with. I pretty much just go by how I like how it looks. But with any type of embellishments, usually when you add them in odd numbers, that is generally more pleasing to the eye. So I added about 5 here and just kind of scattered them up my card, moving up through the center there, through the sentiment, so that it's just adds a nice little bit of shine. And I'm just going to use my liquid adhesive. That's the best way to attach these types of embellishments. And once those embellishments are on, this card is completed. And this is just such a fun way to use that palette knife set in just a different way than just with your stencils. So you could do a mixed media page with this. There's just a closer look at the card, and here is the card all completed. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for stopping in. Bye!